battles unfold on the table as expands. Miniature warriors in a strategic dance. 15 millimeters of intricate design. A world conflict in a scaled down line. Terrain crafted with precision and care. Armies maneuver under watchful glare. Dice roll to decide the fate of the day. Strategies clash in a tactical display.
Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I'm coming back at you with another Wargaming in Miniature video. And in today's video, we're going to continue on with my Napoleonic projects update. This is my Marshals and Generals 15 millimeter Napoleonic painting and rules project, but mostly the project is split into two parts. I've got the miniature painting project, and then I've got the rules writing project, but they all kind of blend together, so take it as it comes. Figures that I am working on right now are I'm trying to get enough models painted and ready to go to do a battalion scale game for Quatre Bras. So every unit, like what you see on the table or on the turntable right here, is going to be a battalion sized unit, or possibly a couple of companies depending on which unit it is. But most likely it's going to be the battalion-sized unit, or an artillery battery, or, generals or whatever. Squadrons. I'm in the middle of rebasing a lot of my figures that I already have painted. I'm going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But right now, I just recently finished painting 2 battalions. This one here is which one is this? This is the 28th Regiment. 3rd Battalion, maybe? Let's find out. Oh, 1st of the 28th. Okay, 1st Battalion, 28. Now, this battalion I knew was going to be kind of a hero battalion, not because of its fighting capabilities or anything like that, but because it has kind of a unique uniform to the Waterloo campaign. The 28th actually was wearing, or still wearing, the stovepipe shakos, as opposed to the Belgique shakos. So I had to actually dig and kind of like fumble around until I found my Belgique shako British. These are all Old Glory. The flags are Fighting 15, and the bases are war bases, 2 mil thickness, but all my infantry bases are going to be, or at least not all my infantry, maybe all my infantry, I don't know. They're 40 by 30s, 6-figure bases, and the mud is the Vallejo dark brown, or Vallejo, I think they just call it brown actually. Vallejo thick mud brown. So it's just the brown mud. That's the brown mud. And I've got the Spring Meadow static grass. It's the 1.5 mil. I found that the 1.5 mil lays, or I should say, has a better coverage. Because I also use 2 mil, I use 2.5 mil, I have used 4 mil in the past, but 1.5, 2, and 2.5 are the best uh, static grass lengths, in my opinion. 1.5 does, it has a lower, it's not as fuzzy. It doesn't stick up as much, which I don't know if I like that as much as the 2.5, but it does apply a lot thicker, I think. The base edges are all done with the Dunkelgrün, and yeah, the red for their jackets. I was gonna. I started off by painting them with a. I started off with painting them the new Vallejo, not the new AK. What do they call it? Scarlet. I started painting them with the Scarlet Red, but then I found that the Scarlet was just a little bit too bright. I knew that washing it was going to darken it up, but not. It was just too bright. So what I wound up doing was mixing in a little bit of this matte red with my Scarlet, right? Okay, so I've got Scarlet and matte red for the uniform, and you can kind of see they're almost identical, but the matte red really made a difference to my Scarlet. I actually had a mixture. I would say 2 drops Scarlet, 4 drops matte is what you see on these figures here. It and on the other battalion as well. I think it came out perfect. Now I tried a different painting technique on both these battalions, and I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the painting technique because it seemed like it was a little bit more of a hassle than a reward. And so let me tell you what I did. I primed gray, okay, and then I went over the pants with a uniform gray. But okay, let me back up. I primed with the Vallejo gray primer, which is very light. You can see it right there. It's almost a white. It's actually gray. It's close to this color right here. But I felt like that was not much of a difference than white. So it's actually a really good primer. But because I wanted it to be a little bit darker, I wanted to bring the colors down a little bit, I added a couple of drops of black into my gray primer when I primed it. So it wound up being almost the same color as their pants. It darkened it up to where it was like a uniform gray color. So I primed the whole figure like that. Perfectly fine. And I probably didn't need to do that, but I did it. Okay. And then when I went to paint the, before I went to paint the jacket, I painted the collar and cuffs first. And then I went and painted the jacket. And I felt like if I painted the collars and cuffs first, I wouldn't have to pay attention or be very, because the collars and cuffs are very small things to paint on this model. So I figured, if I paint them first, I can be a little faster and a little bit less precise and get them done a lot quicker. Well, it's true. I did paint the yellow around the collars and cuffs and the blue on the other ones. But I did paint the collars and cuffs very fast. But then when I went back to the red with my mixture to paint to the jacket, I realized that the time I saved painting the yellow this way extended the time of me painting the red. Because what I did was I took the red and I had to pay very close attention to not paint onto the collars and cuffs like I normally do. Because normally what I'll do is I'll paint the jacket willy-nilly. I'll get it on the collar, I'll get it on the faces and the jacket and the backpack and all that stuff, right? Not deliberately, but if I overpaint, it's perfectly fine because I'm going to paint those anyway. And the only place I have to really pay attention is the pants. And even if I accidentally overpaint the jacket to the pants, I can always come in with the pant color, the uniform gray, and touch that up. Right? I can just correct it as an afterthought. And so I'm very fast on the jacket, but then I have to go in and meticulously paint the collars and cuffs. But then I thought about it. And I said, if I do the collar and cuff first, I'll save some time, which is true. But then I extended the time on the jacket. So I feel like, looking back on it, hindsight 2020, I feel like it's actually faster to paint the jacket, be inaccurate as all get out, and then go in and paint the collars and cuffs. Because when I paint the collars and cuffs, I don't have to be very accurate. All I have to do is paint the collar, which can overlap onto the skin, the face or the hands. So I can be very fast on those, and I can make up. That's the way I'm going to do it from now on. I'm gonna do it like I've always done it, and that's paint the jacket, then the collar and cuffs, then the face and the hands. So in that order. So painting the collars and cuffs first was not really a time saver at all. I think it actually might have. It slowed me down mentally, even if not actual time wise. It just felt like it was more of a pain to paint the jacket after I did the collars and cuffs. Yeah, other than that, everything else just went together just like it always does. It looked really good. And got the stovepipes, got the plumes and the flags where they need to be, and everything looks good. And yeah, I think I did these flags on camera a couple of days ago, where I could I painted the edges of the flags and all that stuff to correct them. Okay, so this is the 28th Regiment, part of Picton's division, I do believe. Let me show you the other battalion I finished. All right, now this is the 1st Regiment. This is the one that's the 3rd Battalion. I'm going to try to remember myself. Yep, 3rd of the 1st. So it's 3rd Battalion, 1st Regiment, which is the Royal Scots. Now this battalion, I only had to paint the command and line troops and 2 of the elites, because I already had 4 elites painted that I had to rebase. So mainly the 3 lights in the front, the flankers, and one of the grenadiers in the back was part of that. I went ahead and added this engineer or sapper on the end there with the NCO right there to flesh out the grenadiers. The what am I trying to think? Yeah, so the I don't know where the sapper came from. I don't think he came out of the Old Glory. He might have been a minifig. He might have been. I ordered so many Napoleonics figures, it's hard to remember, but 90% of these are Old Glory. I don't. He might have been. Hell. There's Blue Moon. I ordered some Napoleonics from Blue Moon, some Hincliffe, some Essex. I'm trying to remember. He came in a small pack of maybe just 4 to 8. Yeah, he came in a pack of like 8 command figures, which had NCOs and engineers and officers and stuff. I don't remember. Might have been Essex. But the flags, again, are Fighting 15. Now, these are not based with the dark brown. These are, or just the straight brown. These are actually based with the European mud. And looking at it, it looks okay, right? That European mud looks good. It looks kind of, it's a lighter brown. If you want to compare, you can compare how the bases might look against each other. You can definitely see when it comes around, you can look at the edge of the bases and you'll be able to see where the difference is. Like this is the darker one, this one's the lighter one. Oh, you might not be able to see it because of the way I've got my camera set up. Do that. That's gonna really do it. Remember, dark in the front. Yeah, you can see the difference there. I think they both look good. But so I'm going to continue using both of the muds. Speaking of which, let me show you what I did today. Okay, I'm not putting these on the turntable because, as you can see, they're still drying. But I've got a Brunswick Light Battalion, Brunswick Lieb Battalion, and the 6th Dutch Hussars. I'm rebasing them on the Marshals and Generals size bases. And speaking of which, I have trays like this. This is a Ritz Crackers box, right? The Ritz Crackers box is really good size for these 15 millimeter models. I can put 4 battalions in there pretty easily, right? Well, I have a number of boxes on the table over there. Let me count. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 boxes over there, plus this box. And in each of those boxes over there, there's either 3 or 4 battalions. Most of them have 4 battalions. So I'm going to say 7 times 3.5 or so. There's probably about 25 battalions over there that need to be rebased. This is just 3 of them. If I can get 4 or 5 battalions rebased per day, then I can get all of Quatre Bras rebased in 1 week, right? And then after that, I'll only have about 10, maybe even less. I'll probably have, well, let's look. I've got a PDF, not a PDF. I've got a Google Doc. I'm going to access the Google Doc and I'm going to show you where we stand on the figures. All right. All right, so this is what I've got. I don't know if you can see everything, but I've got it color coded, and these are all the units for Quatre Bras. Now, if you look at it over here, if it's got the orange for Dutch Belgians, this is supposed to be dark gray, but maybe I need to update that gray to a darker gray. There we go. That is for the Brunswickers. This is for French, and this is for the British. Those are the ones that I've got completely 100% rebased, painted, ready to go, right? Yellow means they're not rebased yet. So like all of these units that are yellow need to be rebased. I just did this unit. Let's go ahead and say that I've done that. I've also did the Lieb, as we already know, and I did the 6 Dutch Hussars. That's these guys right there. Okay, so the yellow needs to be rebased, and you can see these. Anything that's yellow has been painted, it just needs to be rebased. So, and the blue are properly based, and the red are properly based, just and they're painted, obviously, right? The light purple means that I have those figures in bags somewhere. They're not painted, they're not bagged. They're not like, here's the 2 horse batteries, 2 dragoons, all 3 battalions of the light, and I've got the majority of the lancers, but I don't have like 6 figures of the lancers right there. Now these colors, the darker purple mean, okay, that's, okay, hold on. Yeah, the darker purple means I needs purchase. So I need to get them bought so that I could, along with the 27th Jaegers and the 7th Belgian line, I need to get those bought so that I can bag them up and get them ready to be painted and put together and everything. But you can see that I don't really have that much left to do. I've got almost everything's got a color, which if you look, I guess I could take I can actually change this color because I just recently put an order in yesterday for all these, even this, right? I ordered this, I ordered this, I ordered this, I ordered that, I ordered that. And those I've already got bagged, that I've got bagged. This I've got bagged. And the artillery I got bagged. These guys I've got bagged. They're not painted, put together. So let's count some battalion. Anyway, you got some limbers here. A lot of my limbers need to be rebased. Not all of them, but the majority of my limbers need to be rebased. But not counting the limbers, how many units do I need to rebase? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. I'm going to count that as 15, 19, 21. Okay, only 21 units. I said about 25. Yeah, 21 units. So once I get those 21 units rebased, then I'll only have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'll have 15 units to paint. Oh, I thought I was further along than that. Okay. Maybe I wasn't counting the cav. Because there's 6 units right there. Yeah, if I wasn't counting the cav, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, no, this is all rebasing. Never mind. Let me think about that painting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I've got 9 infantry units to do and 6 cavalry units to paint. Yeah, so that's where I'm sitting right now on my Quatre Bras army list. And in this case, I will have both the 5th and the 9th, but I'm also going to be including Jerome, where I know in some scenarios that I've seen printed, they leave Jerome out of the fight because he's kind of like on the far left flank. But they also leave out Proponcher's division, or at least the Nassau contingent, because they are confronting Jerome off the map. But in my battle, that's actually going to be on the map. So the full weight of all the units will be there. Even Kellerman and the guard Lefevre. It's going to be tight for the Germans, the French, super tight on the battlefield. But that's kind of how it was. They didn't have a lot of room to maneuver. But what's good about that is they'll have a reserve. Basically, they can send one of their brigades forward to engage, and then once they get whittled down, then they can replace them with another brigade. The British don't have a lot of that problem because they come into the battle piecemeal as reinforcements. So they just get units killed and then they replace them with fresh units. So, okay, but we don't need to talk about the battle. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out and checking out my update for my Napoleonic project with my first Royal Scots 28th North Gloucestershire, and then the rebasing of 2 Brunswick units and a Dutch Hussar unit, and the knowledge that I'm going to be rebasing all week, and then maybe I will start painting again next week, or I'll get tired of rebasing this week at some point and I'll start painting again. Or maybe I'll do a couple of days of rebasing and then a couple of days of painting, or I don't know what I'm going to do. But I will keep you apprised. Also, I've been really working pretty heavily on the rules. So in my head canon, what I need to do is start putting it into the document. Plus, I've been researching and looking for printers to professionally print the rules once I'm done writing them. And I think I found someone to do it. I can print 1 copy or I can print 1,000 copies. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. I give them a PDF and they send me a perfect bound rule book looking soft cover. So that's exactly what I want. I don't know how many pages it's going to be. That's going to influence the cost, obviously. But once I work it out, once I figure out how I'm going to do it, I'll let you guys know. But hopefully, if I can get all of the Quatrebrad done by the end of the, it's not going to happen by the end of the year. It's already almost December already. So if I can get all of Quatrebrad done by the end of January, I can knuckle down and crunch the rule book and maybe get it done by March, April, and then get these books printed. Maybe by May or June, I'll be able to start selling these. And then I don't know if I'm going to, well, first of all, I know I am going to be putting them on my eBay store, which is located right here. So if you wanted to check out miniatures for sale or any hobby supplies, check out my eBay store. I will be putting the books on my eBay store, but I think I might also do a website which will have like maybe errata or downloadable army lists or scenarios or something like that, on the website. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that. General stats or something. But basically, I'm thinking about having a website where you could purchase the book there. And then and supplies or whatever. And then, but I don't know if I'm just going to go eBay only or if I'm going to get a website. That's something I'll have to think about. But that's going to be in the first quarter of next year. I'm really looking forward to getting this Quatre Bras finished and my rules written and getting some games in. All right, I'll catch you next one. Thank you for checking it out.